That said the storm is live. Well, that could be accurate as well.
Welcome to Talk Like a Mother, Parenting Autism Podcast. We are Jen, Kim, Rachel, and Jamie. Take a seat at our table as we share with hope, humor, and honesty. Hello.
Hello, lovely people of the internet.
Interwebs.
Turn
down the volume of my phone.
What day is it? Monday? Oh yeah, Monday.
I just got going book club, and we ended up talking about TV. I think 75% of the time. Like, what shows are you guys?
Look who's joining us, Tabitha Cabrera.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me. Oh wait.
Can you ladies believe it's December?
You can get your stuff together.
Nailing it. It's going great.
Welcome back. Brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
We haven't even been together in a while.
I know.
Yeah, when was it? When your last book? Well, maybe not your last one.
Second to last one. I know. Yeah, we got another coloring book since then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have the coloring book.
Yeah, people buy the books for Christmas. Give them.
Yeah, put the link. That's a really good.
Good buy. We know I don't know how to do that, so
I know.
Someone else wants to go ahead and drop those in there.
I'm gonna do it.
The coloring books are cool because they're like a cheaper option and stuff kids can mess with, destroy at their leisure.
Well, my kids love it because it's just like what they're like. I mean, Amelie's grown up with these like characters, so she's just used to like the animation type. She's like, oh, like it just. She used to have a shirt with them on it.
Oh yeah,
you'd like the apparel.
Spectacular. How was everyone's weekend? It's Monday. How's your week going? How's your Monday?
Oh my gosh, we put up the Christmas tree, so the Christmas countdown is on, people.
I know it's so close. It's coming
on. Yeah. And my daughter's turning 6. 6
Crazy.
years old.
That's
unbelievable.
Was 22 when we just met you.
I know, 6 years old.
She was a baby.
Her and Amelie, yeah.
Yeah, both of them. I know. Every time I see Amelie, I think the same thing. It's like they're little girls now. They're just little girls.
Sassy little girls.
Sassy is
Where
right.
they get that from?
Sassy is right. My daughter gave me.
Doesn't change, just to be clear. Just gets a little bit sassier, and then it hits that one's level.
You see the link that Amazon gave me for that.
So long. Well, where's the small link? Amazon.
I have to find this on my phone. I can find the small link really easy.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just put that in there.
I just figured out why Facebook deleted the reel.
Why?
Because they knew I was a fraud and that Jen didn't really have Thanksgiving.
All
right.
I technically did, just not then.
I'm just kidding. But
so I was going to say for our listeners, but for anyone watching, so the Canadian Thanksgiving is like obscenely early. It's in October, and then your U.S. Thanksgiving is what's the third Thursday of every November? Is that what it is? Fourth Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth. I mean, at that point, it's Christmas. So,
according to the stores, it's Christmas and like.
So I was like,
October.
I'll do a little Thanksgiving reel, and I was like, everybody send me pictures and videos, and Jen's like, I didn't have Thanksgiving.
I don't think I have any.
The stores is like Christmas is already done in the stores. It's like you go to Target and they don't restock Christmas. It's just like once it's gone, it's gone.
We're just like a fast forwarding life. Can we stick with first of all, Halloween is awesome. Let's not skip over Halloween to get into Thanksgiving and Christmas, please.
Oh, I'm fine with skipping over the candy. That I ate all of it, by the way. All of it.
Bring on the candy.
I mean, Thanksgiving is my favorite, I have to say.
Christmas?
Thanksgiving's
pretty awesome. The older I get, the more I love Thanksgiving.
Because it's laid back. You don't have to, unless you're cooking, which, but I enjoy cooking. But Thanksgiving's just laid back. Like, you don't have to buy gifts for people. You just show up and eat all the food. It's so great.
Thanksgiving's not as big a deal as yours. Like, you guys in the U.S., it's a big holiday. Like, I remember, I grew up in Michigan, and all my aunts would come home from college, and the boyfriends would come.
You guys' Thanksgiving is on a Monday. So it's like, how big of a deal can you make of it on a Monday? Like we get to do like, I'm just saying, because we get to do like the kids come home from college on Thanksgiving. Like people do like a whole
weekend,
Thursday, like weekend, long weekend of it. It's like, Canada should rethink the day they do Thanksgiving.
Change your holiday, Canada.
You guys have a CDC there because Kimmy's gonna
Get
come
it together. Well, we have healthcare. I don't know what to tell you.
We have great healthcare.
You got us there.
We have great healthcare. You just can't access it. Okay.
That's exactly the truth. Yeah, it's exactly the truth. We have it in theory. Just can't actually get any of that said healthcare
unless you want to sell body parts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you can't tell me anything.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so pretty much done shopping. Surprising, right? But then this one's like learn the whole add to cart. Oh, for Christmas, and then I started saying, well, now, after Christmas, So today, so here's what happened. There was a cart full of things that I was like, how about we wait? So we didn't, and I thought, rather than just get them all off of Amazon, because it was like a lot, we'll go get the stuff, which is like all the slime activator and all the things, right? It was like, so first we go to Toys R Us thinking it would be there. Why wouldn't you? And it wasn't. So we left with a lot of stuff we didn't go in for. And I was like, well, this is not working in my favor. Then we went to another store. They didn't have anything. We got out of there scot-free. Then we went to Walmart thinking, well, they're for sure going to have slime activator. They didn't. But again, we walked out of there with another chunk of stuff. At this point, it would have been cheaper to order off of Amazon, which just for the record, I ended up having to get in the end anyway. So, joke's on me. But here's the best part. When we're in Toys R Us and she's handing me all these things, she's like, for after Christmas. Like, it's just...
Jesse's birthday is like a month after Christmas. I always say, well, maybe for your birthday then. But then once we hit his birthday, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, it was so
maybe
funny.
For Easter.
Yeah.
Oh, because his is right after Christmas, right?
Well, it's like the end of January, so you have like a month in between. So he thinks.
Well, the guy at the checkout's like, do you need a gift receipt? I said, sadly, no, sir. No, I do not. No. Bag it and go, please.
Yeah. Well, Alyssa has $500 worth of stuff in the Amazon cart. Of stuff that like she likes the idea, but I know in actuality she's probably not going to play with most of it. And then on top of that, she added a $90 North Face jacket, so it's a two-tone fleece North Face jacket, which I already had one of these that we bought somewhere like cheap for like $15, and she loves it. It's like light purple and dark purple, and she always tries to put it on. It's like an extra large kids and does not fit Alyssa, but she was obsessed with this jacket. But we finally found like a comparable jacket in her size, but I'm like, she's probably not going to wear it.
Yeah.
But she's like so excited that she found it, and she's pointing and she's like, yes. I'm like,
well, she's just like the rest of us. We like the buying.
And I was going to say the jackets. She's a girl after my own heart. I love the jackets.
My gosh.
Give me some jackets. I have so many jackets.
Well, it's always like, you do not need another jacket. And I'm like,
But she's funny, she'll come over with her jacket in her hand and go, like she's cold, and I'm like looking at her like confused, like you're putting your... No, she's trying to tell me she wants to look at jackets on Amazon.
Jacket girl.
I'm like, oh, you want to look at jackets? And she goes like, yeah, you idiot. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Does she like when the package arrives?
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, I think we all get a little
yeah.
Package
but it's like she likes the idea of stuff. Like she likes mini, so she sees something that's mini, and she's like, oh, I want this. But like in reality, like she picked out a mini remote control car. She's never gonna play with that. That's just like not her jam at all. But like because it's mini and she likes mini at that moment, she wants something mini, and that's just like something that's like, I mean, I can't lie, I do that a lot too. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use this, and I do not use it.
I do that too.
I mean, in my mind at the time, I like the way it looks, but I'm not really that person. But it's funny because now she can like, she's actively able to like she'll bring over a fox stuffed animal and go, fox, and I'm like, oh, you want to look at foxes? I told you guys the Octonaut story, right? Where she was like, so she's like squirrel, and she's putting the squirrel on my phone. She wanted to look at squirrels. And then we couldn't figure out. I was like, okay, we'll look at stuffed squirrels. And she was like, no. And then she opened my Kohl's app. And I was like, why would she open Kohl's app? She've never seen her do this. And then it clicked in my head. She wanted those Calico to look at those Calico critters, which I bought for her a year ago at Kohl's. I don't even know how she knows this. She knows so much stuff. It's crazy. I'm like, how do you know these things? And we ended up finding them on Amazon because then I figured out, put in the Calico critters on Amazon, and we found the little squirrel family that she wanted. It was just like so random. I'm just like, but it's like she's finding like different ways to like let us know what she wants.
That's great.
Through stuffed animals, through toys, through
cart, Amazon.
Yeah, she has like this little ice cream set, and she'll bring it over, and she goes vanilla, chocolate, sprinkles, and I'm like, oh. Unfortunately, I can't just make these things like appear on a video.
I would be like, okay, I guess we have to go get ice cream.
Yeah.
Hi, Alyssa.
I was thinking that this week,
Hi, Katie.
after we put up the tree, because Nora's been amped up. Like she woke up at 4:30 this morning, and the energy is just so high. But I was like, I bet it's because she knows that Christmas is coming. Like we put the tree up. She's been carrying around this little Santa for the past 2 days. And I'm like, I never would have thought that, which is so dumb of me. But obviously when we put the tree up, then Christmas is coming. Like, duh, lady, come on. So we got Nixon's anxiety down with the countdown, which he understands now, which is so great. Thank God for that. I mean, it's still like there. It's still there, but it compared to like 2-3 years ago.
16 days.
So much less, yeah.
It gives control, though. It gives a little bit of control, which helps.
Because my 8-year-old niece lives with us, she's asking for the ELF every day.
Oh my gosh.
Alyssa hates the ELF.
I wish I'm so glad I never started that.
First
Well,
year.
just think about it. Like she likes things very predictable. She likes things to be where she expects them to be. So then you have this like thing that's all in all these places that like he doesn't belong. And so the last time we did it, she just kept moving it back to the original spot, like the first spot he appeared. But it's coming on Wednesday, so at least there'll only be 2 weeks of her being mad about it. But maybe like she'll be better. We'll see.
I just move it from shelf to my sister sends me all like these like, the creative crazy things. I was like, our elf isn't mischievous. Our elf likes a good perch. She just likes to sit places.
She's a mellow elf.
She's a mellow elf.
Same here, girl. Our little bugger took the toothpaste and was just hugging the toothpaste. That's where we found him this morning. That is his name.
Mine, I did.
You know where mine is?
A little bowl of cereal that they were eating with a teaspoon.
You know where mine is? In the box in the basement.
Great place, by the way. It's probably the best place yet.
I am not doing elf on the shelf for 12 years. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It was like we started with Jesse, and then we stopped because he didn't care. But then my sister got my daughter into it because my nephew. And I'm like, now she's like talking, and now we have this stupid pet that costs like $25 for another thing. I'm like, you little. That elf stuff never goes on sale. The outfits are like $1 million each. I'm like, F you people.
Hi, Robin.
No to the elf. No to the elf.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. But and the other thing is my kid doesn't go to bed. So like we have to wait for her to go to bed, which is like 4:30 in the morning or something. So then we only have that period of like whenever we get up to like when they get up, which is like not very long.
20 minutes.
Well, it's a good thing that he pops around and you just have to find him because he is a sneaky little guy. Gets in the tree, jumps in the stocking.
Mine's in the stocking right now. But I'm like, because Jesse sleeps like not very long. So it's like, I have to try to stay awake longer than him.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I can't wake up earlier than him most of the time. I mean,
we can't put the gifts out early. Us here, there's 0 gifts that go out ahead of
time. No, I was going to say I wrapped Sunday, but nothing's out.
Yeah.
We can't put, I can't move him because she'll flip out. It's not even like because she'll know. She'll just flip out and put it back. So
Kimmy will be getting her Christmas tree on Christmas morning.
Well, Kimmy, you know how it works. If you touch it, it loses its magic. So just be like, oh, She touched it. Magic's gone. It's just gonna sit here.
No, well, she freaked out the last time, so we assured her that like Santa knows that, you know, when you have autism and stuff like that,
yeah, we did that
count.
too.
And Ari goes,
Yeah,
"Is
like
it
tree
because she has
plant?
special?" And listen, she goes, "Is it because she has special in her fingers?"
Oh, that's sweet. Yes.
Kimmy,
a
do you have any
magical
tree
heart.
plans?
And Mary's like, "Yes."
Kimmy, Jen wants to know your Christmas tree plans.
Oh, I was gonna get it last weekend, but I didn't.
Oh, that's early for you.
Very early for the McIsaacs.
I know.
Why don't you tell them about the time it fell off?
I was just gonna say you have to tell this story because this
We've
is a
told this
Christmas
story every year.
Yeah, we
it's the
just
best
gotta
story.
keep on. It's
my
so great.
favorite Christmas story.
I love this Christmas story too.
I mean,
So heartwarming.
doesn't that happen to everybody?
No, Kimmy.
No.
I mean, I
that's
think it
Victoria,
happened
doesn't
on.
it?
This was Christmas Eve. What was this Christmas Eve?
It was the day before Christmas Eve.
Okay.
The eve of Christmas Eve.
It was
Okay.
not even until Christmas
You have
Eve,
to tell the story now so people know what we're talking
So,
about.
We went to get a Christmas tree, and it was like 2 days before Christmas. So we went and got one and paid too much money, but whatever, we just got it. And it happened to be like stormy out, like rain stormy though. And they tied the tree to the roof, and we were driving, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, we look back and we're like, the tree's not on the roof. Now it's already dark out, windy, everything. So then we turn around and we're like, okay, we've only literally been driving 5 minutes. Like it's a tree. How? But it was so stormy. So like leaves and pine things and bushes were just like flying everywhere. So we couldn't find the tree.
And
So I
she's
went home,
giving
we-
us the play-by-play as this is happening. This is
Yeah,
a great
Yeah,
In real time.
in real time.
And I'm rolling
Camera,
down the
it's pitch
window.
black.
I'm looking out the window. Neil's pulling over. Like it's just like, oh my god. So then we end up going home, and then I'm all upset. I'm like, what? Like we need a tree. Like
And
what
she
the
had been
hell?
talking about getting a tree for like weeks, and it's like 2 days before Christmas.
Which I do all the time.
Yeah.
And then because we always have to like clear a space for the tree and then like go out and get it. It's just a process. And then the next morning I call up the tree place and I'm like, you know, like because I think the tree was like $80 or something. So they're gonna be like, yeah, right, lady. So I'm like, it flew off the thing, like it wasn't tied down good enough, and like blah 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, just come and get another tree, no problem. And I'm like dumbfounded because I did not think that was gonna be his answer.
Well, what are they gonna do with them? It's Christmas the next day.
I know, but you know what jerks people can be sometimes. Like, so then I was like, okay. So then we leave, and I put a thing on like our town like page that was like, hey, like we lost your Christmas tree if anybody finds it. And like some of the comments, no, the comments were so bad. But there were some nice people that like offered to give us tree, offered to let us use a fake tree, whatever. And then someone was like, hey, we think we found the tree on like this. It was like right on the same road that we had pulled over on, but it was like further down than we realized. And then we went and we got the tree and it was fine. And we put it back on the car and we drove home and we used the tree. I mean, all's well done. Well, they don't call us the Griswolds for nothing.
That's what I say. Like, if people don't know, the McIsaacs, just everything they
Yes,
It's
It
like
just falls
Murphy's Law.
apart.
Like, if it can go wrong, it usually does.
And I will say that you guys are great at go with the flow. You're like, oh, let me post this on the thing, call the guy, get the new tree.
I mean, I might not have been that calm and collected the whole time, Tabitha. If anything.
Well, I know that.
Probably
I know
a little
with
bit
you.
yelling between me and Neil.
and
little
the
bit.
Boston accent about
These are the. I feel like okay. So next time Jen has a spider web on her camera, or Kimmy loses a tree, we just go live and we document the whole thing because the rest of the internet needs to see the crazy.
Jen also had a moment in her garage where someone possibly could have been underneath the car.
No, someone could have not been possibly underneath the car, but Jen was positive that a person was hiding.
there was
under
a
the-
like 50% chance. Okay.
There was a 0%.
because the garage door wouldn't close all the way, so they must have crawled under the little garage
The
door.
slit of the garage door and then crawled
Hi,
underneath.
Laura.
And it's approximately 1 a.m. and Jen will not let us off the phone because she's so afraid.
Terrified for my life.
And you find out that she has looked in the garage. She just didn't look under the car, so she was positive a person was under the car. And now she
No,
has refuge.
No, the cracked camera was the best one because then she's like, stay on the phone with me. Don't hang up. Stay on the phone with me. Stay on the phone with me. The cops come to the door. She's like, yeah, I'll call you guys back. We're like, what the
And it was like Jenn was pausing. So if people haven't heard the story, there was like a spider web on Jenn's outdoor camera, like to the backyard, I think. And it did look like broken glass, but it did look like someone shot it. And I'm like, someone's so after Jenn Dunn that they shot out her security camera with a phone. And she had the cops come and everything with us on the phone, and it was a spider web.
It was a
Safety
spider web.
first. You got to be safe. You got to be safe.
And,
Tie down the
and then
trees,
remember
people.
the fire alarm went off, and then the 2 fire trucks showed up, and the guy had the back of all their names are on the back, and one said it was Cook.
I don't know.
Can't even make this stuff up. Oh.
The firefighter's name was Cook.
So our house alarm, if something goes off, it'll dispatch the
That's
fire
how ours
department.
used to be. And you can't have
And
it.
that happened with the upstairs oven, and it dispatched, and they came. And you know how the firemen, they have their names on the jacket, on the back of their jacket, and the one guy was Cook, and he did not find the similarities funny at all.
So you did not get his phone number.
He did not find humor in the situation. No.
You're like, come on, your name's Cook. Come on.
You gotta sell that. If you're
Yeah.
a firefighter and your name's Cook.
I mean, come on, man. This can't be the first time this happened.
Guarantee it isn't. Guarantee with a name like that. You're a fighter and your name is Cook. Okay.
Sure, I'm not the only one that pointed it out.
That's so
Anyway.
funny. That Christmas tree.
Also,
story.
Jen is fan shopping. I have not started.
I'm like, how?
With what? Oh, yeah,
Who
wrapping.
started shopping?
I bought 2 things. And also my daughter's birthday is right before Christmas. So
And mine,
Well,
don't forget.
yes.
Kimmy's.
Kimmy's also a Christmas baby.
Yeah, Kimmy's birthday's Christmas Day. But-
Although, listen, I have one more year of Neil he's always calling me 50. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm in my 40s. Now mind you, I'm 48.
You're still in your 40s.
When he's 53, and I'm like, you're in your 50s, honey. I'm in my 40s. He's like, you're gonna be 50. I'm like, no, I got a whole nother year.
Yeah, it's coming around one more time. Oh my gosh. You want to hear this story? Talk about a mess of a... So I have this favorite ornament that Nixon made when he was in preschool. It has glitter in a ball, glass ball, and his face is like floating in the ornament. And it is, when I open it, I laugh so hard because it's so great. My favorite ornament. I'm doing laundry in the bedroom, come out, glitter. I'm not kidding. Glitter all over the front room, down the stairs, into the basement. The ornament is nowhere to be found. I have no idea where my daughter put the actual ornament, and she has been putting things in the heating vents lately.
Oh, no.
She realized she can get the kitchen heating vent off. So I go in there and I see one of the ornaments, which is like a little candy cane snowman guy. And I'm like, oh my God, if she torpedoed this freaking ornament down into the heating vent, it has like paper in it. I'm like freaked out that there's going to be a fire and I'm going to have to call Cook to come rescue me. I'm like,
Cook, where you at, man?
oh, but I was like, why? My favorite, I mean, I have like maybe 10 sentimental ornaments. My whole tree is filled with years of ornaments, but the kids' ones, like there's their little feet and like first year of Christmas, and then this one Nixon made, and there's one of Nora on a tree. I'm like, you could have picked any crappy bulb off this freaking tree and had your heyday with it. Why? Why?
There's no glitter in them to spread throughout the house.
Tabitha, to be fair to Nora, you just said that was your favorite ornament, and it's a picture of Nixon.
I know.
Like, you know what? That ain't
Take
your
that.
favorite.
Take that.
Who's your favorite now?
Yeah. Who's your favorite? And also,
All of a sudden, it pops back up with a picture of Nora.
there's still glitter. Where? Yeah.
Did you follow the glitter? Where did the glitter trail
That would
go?
be amazing. It went into the basement. Also, in the past couple weeks, my office keys because I have to lock my office door because the monitors and the treadmill isn't there for safety.
Mm-hmm.
So there's keys that were on a hook in order for me to work and whatever. The keys have disappeared. I had to pull my ghetto hoodness out and try and break into this office with butter knives and whatnot. The keys are still missing. I'm like, speaking of raccoons, like, where is she hiding this stuff? Where is her hiding spot for all these treasures that she's accumulating?
You're gonna find it one day.
And
Hopefully
you
not in
know,
the vent.
she's just mad that the heating vent, or that the office is locked. I'm like, first of all, how did you get the keys down? They're like the level of the ceiling. Second of all, where are the keys? Where are the keys? Where's the ornament?
Codes in there, Tabitha.
I do. Yes, Ryan.
She used Nixon's picture to break in.
Yeah, I had to phone a friend. What, two of us trying to do our ghetto skills, unlocking the lock downstairs. And the reason I couldn't pop it, I mean, I can break into a lot of things, but the reason I couldn't pop it was because there's a trim on the door, and so you couldn't get the things in all the way to pop the door open. Anyway,
you guys could be like a mom-daughter, like robbers.
Yeah.
Burglars. There we go.
Yeah, that baby's
really more of like a heist.
Yeah. Well, and I recently got rid of all the heavy furniture in the basement because she has been moving it all around with her strong autism power.
Just like
Baby.
super.
I mean, our kids are so strong. I don't know how it's even possible. Like, an entire filing cabinet filled with papers that I can barely move. She moved across the floor. I'm like, how is this possible?
Buff thick.
So I had to get rid of the furniture in the basement because it wasn't anchored to anything.
Well, some things it's not possible to anchor. So
Yeah, I don't know. So anyways, Nora B, with her wicked smarts, is keeping her mom on her toes.
Yep.
Turns out.
What are you guys getting your kids for Christmas?
Hi, Kayla. Alyssa just picks a bunch of stuff on Amazon, and then we just order it because we're her slaves. And even though I know she's probably not going to play with half of it, but for her, I really think it's like just the opening. It's the act of opening the present, and then they all go into a box, and they're never to be touched. But every once in a while, she'll really like something, so we just go with it now. It makes her happy.
Yeah, Nixon has 2 requests for Santa. Nick got one. I got one. The other one, of course, they're dinosaurs. Hammond collection, to be specific.
Oh.
Yeah, you know. And then Nora, I got her some. The only thing I've ordered so far is I got her these sensory bottles that are like, you know, giant ones that you could. I'm sure it'll turn into, you know, an extravaganza. It's like a giant tube that has like buttons or like stuff on the inside that you can flip upside down and watch all the stuff go.
Oh, okay. Like the.
Yeah, you know, the small ones that are kind of like lava lamp, but those are a hard plastic, and they're always like.
Well, my kid always figures out how to break them open or crack them, and the stuff just comes. It's like those. What are those balls?
The worst with the water beads. Oh yeah, those two.
Something I don't know, everywhere, and with the water beads too, without fail. Jessie breaks every single one of them.
Yeah, Nora too. Every time, like water beads everywhere. She's a little engineer baby. I mean, I give it to her. She can, you know, figure out locks and heating vents and water heaters and moving furniture.
I have some projects at my house for her. If she
Yeah. She gets so excited anytime I have to use a drill. I'm like,
it's more than my husband. So
yeah.
Need some stuff moved. For us, we got Jesse. He always loves these, like, when we go to Disney, these like big Woody and Jesse's where they actually have like the pull strings. But I never buy them at Disney because I don't want to fly with them home because we pack really light. And so I actually order those. I think he's going to be really excited. And then he loves, man, I'm really sounding like Disney people right now. but he loves It's a Small World. And so it's really hard to find It's a Small World stuff. But I've discovered at the Hallmark store, they actually have some stuff. So I got him this cool like night lamp thing. And then a blanket that has a map because he loves maps, and It's a Small World. It has a small world map. So it's like, oh, he was actually, those are things he didn't ask for, but like I knew he would like. Like, I mean, he doesn't ask really for anything except for sometimes he'll be like, he'll show us that he wants them. I'm like, oh, do you want that for Christmas? And I'll be like, yeah, for Christmas. And then he just assumes he's getting it. And then my daughter's asked for like everything. I buy her like all this. Like it's just like this, like it's like this, not the LOLs, but all these like different surprise dolls they have now, where it's like unicorn surprise. I'm like, I don't want to buy this $30 thing for you to open one time and then you don't care.
Yeah,
it's just like
a surprise.
This is
get more stuff.
Alyssa. She has, well, that's her no face that she wants, allegedly. And these are all. So she wants like a, oh, look at that thing. It's so cute though.
Kimmy, you should make it an Amazon list and then send it to us and we can buy her stuff.
She
Not that you need it.
You can I know. But then she'll end up loving some of it. So it's just you're just not gonna know what. Just look at that
hard
little
thing.
book.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Aww.
And the little book. She loves Octonauts, but like anytime I show her Octonaut toys, she's like, no thank you. No thank you. She loves unicorn stuff. It's so funny though. And then she wanted these no thank you. She wanted these Elsa and Anna pajamas, but like she doesn't, they're like little kid pajamas. Oh. She doesn't understand, like they don't come in obviously I don't actually think she would actually wear them in reality, but like who knows. A lot of times when she picks stuff out herself, she will end up wearing it. But it's just like those long sleeve, like fleece pajamas with the matching pants. And like, you can't get them. They don't make them or anything even similar in adult sizes. But we found a towel with the same print. And I'm like, do you want this towel? Because I think it's just like the picture that she likes. Like she likes the
image. Yeah.
Well, but everything looks better in those pictures.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand that like you can't like literally you can't. I can barely even get that in Ari size. And she's like a 10-12 or like a 12-14. So but
hey Disney, get it together.
Disney missed the mark on that.
Make some adult sizes. Make some adult sizes.
They do have like other like they have a lot of Olaf stuff in adult sizes, but she doesn't want that. She's like, no. She's so very specific about like what she wants. It's like even if you try to be like, oh, how about this? How about this? No. And she'll go right back to her. Like, she knows exactly what she wants. Like, there's no
well, like you said, like, I mean, Jesse's the same way. Like, our kids, I think they see something and how isn't they, that's what they want in their mind. It's not like you can get another version of that.
No, not at all.
Like,
no
generic for Jesse. It is what he saw.
Nixon literally has 3 T-Rexes that he knows the difference between based on their coloring, like their foot, like, you know.
Jesse will do that. Like, I'll try it. Like, he loves those Tsum Tsums, which I don't really even make anymore, but I'll find them on eBay and stuff. But it's like the Mickey. I bought him like 3 others of those Mickeys because we've like lost it or whatever. And then we end up having to find it anyway because he just knows. It's like there must be one little seam on it or something. He knows exactly right because he's like, nope, hell no, lady.
That's not it.
But
try again.
She'll never look for another tiger. She will never like. She's always like, no.
Well, people do that too. They think because your kid likes one thing, they're like, oh, she must like tigers. I'll buy her. And like, nope, she has a tiger. That's it.
One tiger. That's all we need.
And I try to get her to get another. She likes to like. So she watches an October episode that has a bear, or that like she perceives that has a bear. Like it has a bear, but it's not really. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, this is once about a bear. It's just it's in the episode, or I don't know how she like determines what it is, but she has her way. And she'll go bear, and she has this polar bear, but he's not like really cute and cuddly. So I'm trying to get her to get a better bear, and she's like, no. And then she pointed to the polar bear. She goes, bear, like, bitch, I got a bear. I don't know.
She wants a real bear. Actually.
And I always think about that around this time of the year. Like, it is nice and lucky that, like for my kids, they can only make it through 2 or 3 gifts, and then and they don't want more than that. Like they don't want to open a bunch of gifts. They're just like, okay, I got my toys. That's it. You know, that is kind of nice.
Jesse was like that until this last year. Then he was really more, but now it's like, if we give him like one thing he really wants, which is like, so like if I had him open the Jesse and Woody first, done.
Yeah.
He's gone in
Nixon
it.
too.
He's
Nixon
like, great,
too.
I can play with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull these strings all day. Could care less. So I have to have him like open things strategically so that he'll sit with everyone else and like.
Oh no, Alyssa will sit right there and she's like, give me all my presents.
He's like, I ordered more than this.
Yeah,
Where's
Nora
one
is like
year,
a 2-3 gift gal. Even maybe.
We got our
Jesse used
DS,
to be the same way.
like a Nintendo DS, and we're like, oh, this is a little expensive, but we think she's really gonna like it, so we'll get her less other things. And then we figured that it would be, you know, we're like, she's not really gonna notice, you know. Oh, she noticed, and she was pissed.
They don't know the price. They're not like, oh, you spent this amount of money. No.
Yeah, and of course, like she would. I
little
didn't necessarily think that she would realize that, but like I didn't think she would care that she only got like 5 or 6 things, and she was watching her sisters like, and they were young at the time, so they got like a lot of like small things, and her face was not Merry Christmas.
Well, Kaya's been very clear. 20 presents.
Well,
and Santa's coming too. So
just likes opening gifts. Like I could get her a coloring book with a pack of crayons. Like she just likes. She likes it. Honestly, I feel like I'm the same way. I like to open the gift. I don't necessarily always care as much about what the gift is, but it's like the fun of like getting a gift and then like seeing what it is.
So that's who she gets it from.
That's what she really likes more than like.
Yeah,
it's like the process more than like the actual.
I think that's where Jesse's getting, like with Christmas and birthdays. Like I was just talking to Jen about this the other day. Like he thinks he's supposed to have a birthday party and he's supposed to open presents and he's supposed to have cake. I don't think he enjoys those things, but he's just like, this is what's supposed to be happening.
Part of the
I think it's a little what Christmas is getting for us, where he's like, oh, we're supposed to open gifts now.
Yeah.
But like my kids have so much stuff. I'm really trying this year to cut down. Like they get like a couple Santa things, and then like I'm just because Jesse doesn't let us get rid of things. I know I shouldn't say let us, but like he like jumps in between like things he really like. He loves this set of toys, and then he'll forget about for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you have to have that set of toys. Yep. And so we just hoard everything for him. With my daughter, she grows out of things. She's okay with passing them on to other kids. With him, and he's like, nope. Like he's gotten mad at me when he sees himself in a picture of being a baby with a toy, and he's like, where's that toy? I'm like, that toy's gone. It went to another baby. And he's like, no.
Yeah, we've had to search for one piece of something for, oh my God.
That's my life.
Yeah.
My life is searching for
one piece, you know, like.
To give them experiences. Do you know what I mean? Like your kids are probably just getting to Jaime where they would like a little bit understand that. That's like a newer thing that a lot of people are doing, and I think that's a great idea.
I love that idea, but I think Jesse would be like, because I thought about, so my kids, Amelie loves The Descendants, which is like that Disney Channel show with the kids that are like the children of all the villains, and Jesse and her both, they like to watch the zombies, which is also, so they're doing some concert where like some of the actors are going around on tour and it's coming. And I'm like, I wonder if I could gift them that for Christmas, but it's not till like June or July.
Yeah.
And then I give him like a paper. He'd be like,
I feel like it has to be something that you could use, like
immediately.
Do you remember last year when I took her?
He would like going and doing it, but not as a gift. Sorry, Jen.
No, remember when I took her to the Nutcracker last year and somebody commented, well, that should be a Christmas gift. And I was like, she would not understand that it's a piece. First of all, it's something she's used to going to. She just
that's the thing too.
But again, it's like it just doesn't mean anything to her, like or gift cards. Like they're just Amazon. Yes, she knows what Amazon is, but like,
yeah,
I don't think it's not that it means. I think it's that they really just think this is Christmas. I'm supposed to open a gift. I'm supposed to have a toy because that's what I see in the videos. But like, me and Isaac talked about that because we did 2 big trips this year. So like. We kind of were saying to the kids, like, okay, we might have less Christmas presents, but I'm like, he's not going to get that. It's not going to be like, oh, well, you got to go to Disneyland and Disney World. So now you get like,
no, this is Christmas. That is like something else. Yeah.
Taking her for a trip on her birthday.
Neil's always like, this is Christmas and everybody's birthday and next Christmas.
I like what
okay.
Katie said. Katie said we told family to wrap my son's favorite snacks for him to open and to just give us money that we would put towards his swim lessons.
Oh, that's
That's
a
a
good
good
idea.
Wrap me
idea.
my favorite snacks. I'd be happy too.
Me too. Somebody
Ooh,
wrap me
Olivia-
some snacks.
Olivia loves the Chili's gift card. Yep, so do I. Girl,
I
so
will
do
do that. You know those juice bottles? They're called like Good for You or something.
Oh yeah, with the
But they all the
toppers.
Disney, like they look.
Uh-huh.
But those bottles, those juices are like
$4 or
It's
$5.
like, yeah, $4 for one crappy
Yeah.
little bottle. Amelie loves those. I've a couple Christmas given her those. I'm like, Mary, this is nice. Drink it, throw it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amelie did get a Starbucks gift card for her birthday, and she thought she was the shit. She thought she was like a 17-year-old cool girl.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year, I think there's two sides to it because we've come so far in all these things and like all the anxieties come down and learning all the things. And also my daughter's 6 and I don't know what she wants for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like or her birthday for that.
Yeah.
I saw this thing today, like a reel, and she had this information that said most autistic adults who can talk later on in life or who were nonverbal for an extended period of time have the idea that other people can hear their thoughts.
Oh.
Like it's like a common theme in autistic adults who were nonverbal for an extended period of time. I'm like, that makes perfect sense. Like, why would you, like, especially with how in tune we are to our kids and how they're like with devices, it's hard to navigate them using a device at home because they're like, hey, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't need this baloney. But it would make sense for nonverbal people to just assume that the narrative that's going on in their mind when they can't speak is because we're
hearing that.
They can hear our dialogue, I know. I was blown away by it.
With Jesse, I think sometimes, especially with me, like he gets so frustrated because like Jesse is verbal and he can communicate, but he doesn't always, he's not like, he's like, oh, coming up to me like, I want this. Or if we saw something at the store, it's not, I don't know. It's not that kind of communication where he's like, oh, can I have this, Mom? Like, so like I've had to read it. And like this year, like I was so excited. Like I was telling the ladies, like when I first like discovered, because it's like I know what he wants just from watching him and like those Disney toys, or like I just know he'll like certain things now because I know him so well. So I could see like if something ever happened to me or wasn't around, like I wonder if that expectation would be there. Like, well, my mom just figured it out. Like someone could figure it out. And like also like sometimes when that nonverbal communication gets so good too, maybe it's not that connection there that like, oh, people were picking that up for other reasons, not because they can read my mind.
Well, and it's as the years go on, like she's going to be 6. She's still not she's still not talking. She's, like her language is minimal,
well, it's like
very
if you
minimal.
Think about like a toddler before they start talking. Moms usually can figure out what their toddler wants, like without them being able to speak. And I feel like we do that for our kids as they get older if they're nonverbal in the same way.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes when they want something like super specific or like completely random that we're like, I'm always like, this, and she's always like, and she looks at you like, are you like serious right now? Like she just has this look on her face like, hello,
come on.
But now that Jesse is like more verbal and he talks to us more, we'll be like, oh, don't you like this or you want to do this? And he'll just be like, no, like
I know, like you're getting it wrong, Nixon.
I always talk about this was like a few Christmases ago, I think 2 or 3 Christmases ago, when Jesse really first started talking to us, but it was very minimal at this time. And we were at this thing, and the whole time I thought he liked it, but he was just kind of uncomfortable and all this stuff. And it was like a Christmas market. And I was like, buddy, do you want to treat? Do you want this or this? And he just looked at me. He goes, I hate this. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was way off base. But then I think I texted you guys right away because I was so proud that he like said a sentence. But he just was like, and I was like, oh, I thought like all this time I thought I was just reading that you were uncomfortable with this. And I'm like, oh, I was way off the base.
Well, that's the thing is like,
I know. Cause I feel like a lot of it we figure it out, but then there's like some of it that's just,
you just miss.
Well, and it's with this weird thing too. I was thinking about this the other day. That there's the grief, but then there's also guilt about the grief. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you shouldn't be feeling that way, or like you shouldn't be sad, even though you know it's normal, you know, like all these things. And birthdays are always that. As the birthdays go on, I think it's always that way as a marker for the differences in, you know, where your kids are compared to their age bracket, I guess. And even like seeing Amelie and Nora side by side, it's like they're very close in age, you know, but the differences are drastic, you know, not in a negative way. It just is what it is.
No,
Well, it can be jarring sometimes when you see, like, because it's like I feel like we kind of forget, like,
you live in your bubble.
Yeah.
She's just Nora, like she's just her, like. But then sometimes when you see somebody that's like the exact age that they are, or very close in age, it's like you're almost like floored by like.
It's soul crushing.
Like it doesn't seem like it's so big. Like obviously, yeah, you know that we know that they
You
can't
know it,
talk
yeah,
or whatever it is, but it's like in other ways, we're just so used to how they are. It almost seems like that's typical for them, and then you forget how different it is for somebody that same exact age. Like I feel
It's
like
always something small for me. Like I'll be driving and I'll see kids around her age walking home from school.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, we can't even cross the street like safely, you know? And I'm like, they're just walking to school, walking home from school, you know, that kind of stuff.
Such a luxury, right? I mean, it really is like a luxury.
I always kind of get bitter Betty, and I say that like people, and again, to be clear, I would have as well if I didn't have a child with special needs. I would have never, you don't really understand it, but the things that I guess I would have taken for granted, that the ease of things like jumping in a car and going to the store, or, you know, just anything really. It's just.
I know. And I think it's particularly more difficult when like they're going through a hard time, or like, you know, it's just like one of those kind of like periods that are just a little more frustrating than like the typical that like, you know, I mean, her sister is 6 years younger than her. She's applying for graduate school. Like it's it's the alignment is so, but like, I feel like as the older they get, the less that kind of is. Like, I don't really think about her in that same
capacity.
line.
Yeah. And
it's
I think
little things that get to me, like little things like watching like somebody that's like able to communicate in other ways effectively. And it's like, wow, I wish she could do that, which she is starting to do some of that now. But like, if you go back 6 years ago or 8 years ago, when she was not able to do that at all, it would be like, oh, like, I wish she could even do this just to let us in that little bit more.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
feel like
they're not knowing
smaller things that like are harder for me now, where like before it was the bigger things. Like you just kind of get past.
And I was thinking about that too, as like the growth. Like you can have both sides. Like I think about the growth of my kids and also my growth. Like we had freaking glitter all over the house. All over the house. And still, you can never get rid of glitter. Ever. I live in a princess castle at this point. Okay, besides the glitter. Nora also stuffed it like one of those gooey unicorns down the sink in the bathroom and filled it up to the top. And I've had to take that sink apart before, so don't worry. I already know how this goes. If I have to take it, but I put a comb down in the sink to see what was in there, feel how like jammed it was down in the sink. And I flip it up and out pops this like purple bright unicorn, and I just burst out laughing. Where in the past that might have like been days worth of like, you know, crying or whatever. I'm just like, okay, I mean, cool. I mean, why wouldn't you want to stuff a unicorn down the sink? That seems pretty awesome. Why wouldn't you want to throw glitter all over the magic of Christmas? You know?
Just tell me where the ornament is, okay?
Like, we learn this ability to step back and like maybe not at the time it's not funny, like, and maybe we get like a little upset or whatever it is, but then it's like then we can joke about it. And I think that's what like that's really what like ignites the healing, I think, just because it's like
and it's great to see how far we've all come. I mean, I was really upset about that ornament. I was like, where's the ornament? Where is the ornament? Where did you put the ornament? And then Nixon was like, just forget about the ornament. That's what he said to me.
Let it go.
Let it go, lady.
Forget about the ornament.
Shouldn't have kept saying it was your favorite one.
I did it to myself. And I had to fold laundry. So, laundry gets you every time. This is the real lesson. Don't
I've been
fold
doing
the
laundry nonstop for like the last 5 years.
Yep, Laura, I totally get that. Like, especially when you're just not expecting it. It can just...
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, and I was just talking to Jen about this the other day. We've had this huge growth in like language and communication this last, I would even say 6 months. Like, we had a big leap like a year ago or so. And this last, it's just been he talks to us and it's, if you just were walking past, you would think it was a typical conversation, but he's really using the wrong words, the wrong pronouns, but he's talking to us, which is amazing. But then we've had a lot of these behaviors that are I don't want to get into detail, but behaviors like a 2-year-old would have that are just very triggering to me. It's PTSD from when he was a toddler, where it's so you have these huge leaps, and then that stuff happens, and it's so confusing in your brain.
Yeah.
It's I just remember when he was first diagnosed, I would read these things, and some people online who I always joke, you read all these things, but I've never met these people in real life who this, getting rid of gluten changed their life or whatever. It's I don't know who these magic people are, but people don't oh yeah, my son was behind in this and this, and one day it just clicked, it just snapped. And that's not I actually have that expectation anymore. That, that was something I hoped for when people would say that. And a few, a couple of years in, you're oh no, that's not what autism is. It's forever. But part of me is okay, we're over these hurdles. And then they always come sliding back, and it just brings you back to this place of oh my gosh, we're never gonna move on for this. But it's, for me, a lot of time it's when we're having progress or when times are going good. And then I do see my niece is coming to visit, who her and Jessie were babies together. She's a few months older. She's a genius little girl. She reads crates of books at a time. She always is messaging me. She just wants to be grown up. And it's so different that I'm oh, even our growth and the improvement we have, we're still so far behind, but you're celebrating that growth and you're celebrating that stuff. So you and of course it's a great thing that he's always growing and improving, or, when that's going on, but it's just a reminder, oh, we're still not where you're supposed to be, even though that doesn't really matter, but it is kind of
yeah. And I think for me too, it's the differences in my kids too.
Mm-hmm.
Nixon at 6 was talking. He wasn't talking, but he was able to, he could request things. He couldn't, and he still can't really articulate his day or anything like that. But he was talking. I knew what he liked and disliked and, all that stuff. And so the differences in my 2 kids is sometimes jarring in that sense too, when I think back on it. But she's also advanced compared to him too. Gross motor, obviously, she can, figure out the sink and the heating vents.
Well, they say when you lack in one area, you compensate in another.
I know. Get her to unlock your door, baby gate. What are you locked out of? We can figure it out. Me, the 2 Cabrera girls, we got you. But she is advanced in the other, a lot of other things that he is still struggles with. So, I think that's typical for kids in general, is you have siblings that, have different, but around this time of year, it always is pretty heavy for me, especially with the birthday rolling around. Yeah. And just for her sake, I want to know about her more than just what I'm guessing, I want to know. I really, it would be so nice to know.
And I feel like with Alyssa, she's just starting to over the past few years really be able to show a little more, and that's so I've waited so long,
Yeah.
And now she can go on Amazon and show you different stuff, and she'll go and get a stuffed animal. It'll be hey, she grabs Minnie and goes, Minnie? I go, Minnie? And I'm yeah. And then I'm oh, you want to watch Minnie on the TV? Because she watched Octonauts every single day. So then one day she switched it up, and I'm and it's just, What? I'm sorry I talked about you. I'm sorry. But like she hasn't been able to do that before. She hasn't been able to tell us what we just assume what she wants.
Mhm.
We assume she wants to get this food when we go to a restaurant. We assume that she wants to watch the show. We assume a lot of things in obviously some things she can show us. It's not that we're like wrong all the time, but like she can be like, Alyssa, Kara bought her an Olaf stuffed animal on Thanksgiving. And that I go, she's gonna want to watch Frozen. I know she killed the one Jaime got her. I love you.
That's okay. You can kill it all you want, girlfriend.
And she was like, Olaf. And it takes you a second and you're like, I'm like, you want to watch Frozen? She's like, yeah. But it's like just which is I know something so simple and so like all my kids did this and it's something you take for granted and actually want to about, but like it's like, but she's never been able to do that. So like to me that's so huge, like of her just being able to make like a decision and like she'll pick certain episodes she wants to watch now, which I mean can be also annoying because she goes down. She wants you to like go down with the
Nora does this. She does a swiping on the she can't touch the TV.
She's
but
swiping
she's like,
you.
Yeah, she's like down because it's like she wants you to move the thing. Our cable box isn't working, so we're using the Xbox. So you got to use the Xbox controller to do it. But yeah, and like that's just I just love her being able to have some control and be able to like show us, things that she wants and she prefers because she's never been able to do that. Like, and it's just she's never even watched TV really.
Yeah, so cool. And probably just the interest, like she's having interests in all these things.
Well, and it's doing something so typical. Like even like watching my 20-year-old like watch a comfort show, like and just seeing her on the couch like laughing, like that's just like a heartwarming feeling for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like something that's so typical. Or when you're watching them, on the couch and they're laughing at something, like doesn't even matter how old they are. But it's like she's never had that typical thing, which I know it's not that big of a deal. It's not like you could live without it. It's not like missing the marriage milestone or something, but like it's just something that like you just assume that everybody
it feels so normal. Like I was talking to Jen about this the other day. Like Jesse likes playing Mario Party, but he's very like he plays by himself. He does it this way. The other day he let Emily play with him, and it only lasted like a good 10 minutes before it was like war because it wasn't exactly how he wanted or whatever. But it was like I was like reading my book. Isaac was doing the dishes, and my kids were playing a video game. It was like a moment of like
oh my god
normalcy, like like people. That's people's everyday lives probably, and I'm like. This is so like my kids are just hanging out together and I'm reading a book. Like no one's running out the door. I mean, someone's probably naked, but at least like, like
someone should have been throwing glitter for that celebration.
But it's such a feeling of peace, I think, when those things happen. It really is. Even if it's just a slither, even if it's just for a moment, I feel like we just really yearn for that normalcy and those typical things, and obviously like you're gonna take them for granted. Like I take them for granted with my other kids. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not it's human nature to do that, but when it's like something so typical and like your child can't have that or can't achieve that or can't understand that or tolerate it, like whatever it might be, it just leaves that void. Even though it's just little, it's not that big of a deal that she didn't watch TV. It wasn't like I'm in the corner crying about it, but it's like, it's just nice that she can like come out and like lay on the couch with a blanket and like,
just say chill.
Cute.
Well, even for Christmas, I mean, this is probably our second real year of her really getting it, like really understanding it, the whole Santa thing. So like I had to hide Santa gifts, the paper, because I always make Santa's paper different.
Me too. I do that too.
Right? But she's like, she learned the word peeking and what it means. She thinks it's the funniest thing. So she's like, I'm peeking at Christmas. I said, that elf is on that shelf watching you, and Santa knows. You peek, they go. She's like, she just thinks it's so funny to like, like
but it's so cute. And then like when they do that, like I mean, when Jesse was little, it was like we bought. And then it was mostly me because I would buy him so much. I'm just hoping he'd be interested in something or excited about something. Like I just remember like on Christmas being like oh, will you like this, buddy? And like opening the gifts for him. And like, I mean, my husband used to like just feel so bad for me because I was trying so hard with it.
Mhm.
And then once they do kind of get into it, you're like, you can have the effing world.
Yeah, what do you
Like,
want?
what do you want?
We bought like the first year Nixon asked for a specific toy. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it was an old toy that they didn't have on Amazon.
Nope.
We paid like $80 for that freaking toy on eBay. Like the one that was listed. I'm like, whatever, we're buying it. You asked for it, we're buying it. Yes.
I had the whole internet, remember, with Jesse? Like, he
yeah.
didn't even ask for it yet, but he showed interest in the toy, which it was the Sunny Bunnies rocket thing. And Amanda DeLuca really, like, she was like, we're going to find this toy.
Found that thing, yeah.
I think it was her. I think she found some lady in Canada who was so sweet and sent me the toy. And people requested, like, to this day, you can find the toy on Amazon now. And it's, I mean, originally the toy was like $25. It's like $80 now. But I think it's like people wrote for me to this company through Amazon asking them to sell the toy again. And we've bought multiples of this toys for a lot. But it was like, it was the first time, like, he just saw a little video of it and he was so excited. He'd never been excited about a toy before. And I'm like, we will find this toy. And we, like, luckily we did, but it's never like the hot toy on the shelf.
No, I know. It's like from 1989. No, Nixon's wasn't that old, but it was like this T-Rex that turned into something else or whatever. And all the parts came, all the things. I'm like, thank goodness for eBay that these things still exist on the universe.
I didn't use eBay for a long time. I know a lot of people thought when I was style, but I'm back on eBay now.
I've never used it.
Christmas miracle.
Jesse loves those Tsum Tsums, and they really don't make them anymore, but you can find them on eBay. So I'm always like, searching.
Yeah,
it's like he has like a set of like Aladdin toys and he loses like the genie, but it has to be that specific genie that went with that set. And people will sell just like those parts on eBay. And I'm like, help me find this genie.
I need the genie.
I have a tired baby. I'm gonna have to jump off in a second. Yeah, she's circling around and she wants to go to bed, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to get.
Yeah,
I know it's like a normal time.
The flip side for us,
I want to like expire.
Well, I can't get her to watch a Christmas show because now she's like, Octonauts.
Oh, and you're like, I want to watch my Christmas movie.
Oh, like, not my child. She's downloaded and I've purchased every freaking movie ever made of the Rudolph or whatever. And she thinks the stingiest, what is it, Kaya? The stingiest man? The stingiest man in town. And she asked me, like, in her way of like, stingy is. And I was like, not sharing. But she just loves that movie. She thinks it's like the funniest movie ever.
Which one is it?
And for $9.99, you can have all 29 editions as well.
What is it? Which movie?
The Stingiest Man in Town.
That's what it's actually called. I thought that was a line. It was great. I thought that was a script. That's actually what it's.
It's the guy's name Isaac.
And for $9.99, you can have it as well.
Is it the story? It's the story of Isaac Ramos. Like,
I go. Do you want to watch the Santa movie? She goes, no, thank you. I'm like.
My kids love the Grinch, but my kids love the People Grinch, which is there's a lot of innuendos in that movie.
She did watch Minnie and Mickey's Christmas. So.
Nixon loves the Grinch too.
Do you remember those Grinch pajamas I have?
Grinch pajamas?
Zip up with the whole. They're full Grinch.
Jen's the most festive of us. I don't know if you guys knew this. She's
I don't know how this happened. Just to be clear, I am not a festive holly jolly person. Okay, I despise joy in the holiday season, but somehow I have the child.
Bring down the joy.
Who freaking loves all things Christmas.
She is the Grinch.
All things.
That is one great thing. I mean, I did so much complaining about the glitter on this episode, but this live. I'm not an episode.
This is an episode. Don't worry.
You know. Okay, great. I do want to say that I am so thankful and grateful for the growth over the past. We're 6 years into this autism jam at this point. I'm so thankful for all these little things. I'm taking my son to see Santa this year. We're doing the countdown. We have the magic spirit. Nora's carrying around Santa. I mean,
glitter. The house is decorated.
I mean, it's just in glitter. But
it makes you appreciate it more. I will say that, like, you know, normally probably by this age with our kids, we'd be burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Tabs, like, and now it's like, you're so grateful for it.
Yes.
It's like a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Well, now Alyssa will come to the table and go, ketchup? And like before she would just stare at you and you'd be like, do you need something? And you'd be like, and she's like, I mean, she's saying unprompted words like,
Ketchup.
Ketchup? Do you want ketchup now? Yeah.
I want a hot dog. You guys are making me hungry.
Oh, hot dog.
I know. But it's just funny. It's just like, it's just, you know.
Always down to eat.
We're going to start doing lives more, maybe like once a month or something like that, just because it's nice to do this and have like engagement and hear from you guys more. Not that we're sick of each other, but I feel, I don't know, maybe you guys are sick of us because we're always telling the same old stories, but they're pretty funny, especially the Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree.
The best one is the Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
Forever will be the best story of our
Thanks
podcast.
for having me. I miss you guys so much.
Oh,
And
we miss you so much.
Tabs on all the time whenever we can.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Survive through the glitter.
Time is here again.
We're going to send you all glitter and envelopes. Okay, bye.
Love you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Talk Like a Mother Parenting Autism podcast. If you are enjoying our podcast, make sure to rate and review us wherever you listen. And if you'd like to support us, you can become a subscriber. Just check out the description of this episode. Give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram for more content, and we'll see you next time.